So what we're going to talk about here is your purpose, okay? Your purpose for life that you don't know about, okay? Your purpose for life is non-disturbance. That's your purpose, okay? It's been your purpose since you were born, all right? Because things happen that disturb you, bother you, make you feel uncomfortable in various ways, and you don't like it and you want it to stop. You want to be in a perpetual state of bliss, or, you know, we could also call it, what? Happiness? Okay? That's what drives you. Okay? And don't believe this stuff. Like I said, this is not mine. I didn't come up with this. These are teaching ideas that have been passed down through generations. And I've experimented with these and found this was true. This is true for me. Okay? My purpose was to be non-disturbed. I just didn't want stuff to bother me. Ever. And every time that it did, I went into one of those 4 emotional states of either anger, fear, guilt, or insecurity. Okay? And I wrecked this body with stress hormones that I could not express. Okay? This is what you decided on a long, long time ago when you were an infant. And you have reinforced this throughout your entire life. Okay? Now, there's 4 what we'll call dual basic urges to this, okay? So, each of these, you want to escape and gain, okay? Now, we're going to go meow, meow, and meow. I think that's... let's not do the thing. Alright. There it goes. Alright. I want to watch that on the stream in the delay. Let's see it. Here we go. Well, thank you, Hypno Zombie. It was great to have you here. Thanks for interacting, and look forward to seeing you again soon. So, okay. So, I think we can be seen. Yeah, kind of. Enough. All right. Because we can ask about this. All right. Well, yeah, I don't know if the wife will let me mount it on the wall. I do need to find the actual screw. I went to look for it earlier. I didn't realize it was missing, and it doesn't have the washer and the nut for it, so I don't know where it's in my storage room thing. So I'll find it. We'll be a little more functional next time. So, okay. Can everybody see that? If you can't, okay. If you're on Twitch, let's go back. All right, if you're on Twitch, this is what I'm about to draw up here. Okay. Okay. Thank you, my love. Oh, wait, no, you said nope because of mounting the thing on the wall. Yeah, no, I knew better than that. All right, we're gonna stay. Are we golden? We good? All right. Watch it fall on my head. All right, man, I really appreciate y'all hanging out with me. I've averaged at least 10. I've got 8 people on Twitch right now, and then shows I've got 1 person on Facebook, but that's just been kind of spotty. So really appreciate y'all being here. This has been great, and I will do this again, and we'll go over these things some more. Okay, so we want to gain and escape things that disturb us, okay, or that don't serve. We want to, escape disturbance and gain non-disturbance. And there's different ways that we do this, okay? So, over here we've got pain. Pain. We want to escape pain. Don't like it, don't want it, Get it out, okay? And we want to gain pleasure, okay? So, this is on a physical level, okay? Physical level of pleasure and pain, okay? Now, everybody's different in this, okay? There are some people who enjoy a nice amount of pain, and that's pleasure to them, okay? And there are some people that some physical pleasure is uncomfortable and painful to them, okay? So, you know, some people like to be tickled, some people don't. Some people like to be, well, we won't go into all of that. But, you know what I'm talking about. We're all adults here, so, you know. This varies, but this is this is the first part of it. This is the physical aspect of it. Escape pain, gain pleasure, okay? Now, on an mental level, there we go. We want to escape being ignored, okay? And we want to gain some attention. All right? And so this is on a mental level, all right? We like people to pay attention to us, and we don't like it when we're ignored, especially if we know we're being ignored, okay? It is very unpleasurable, okay? It is painful to be ignored, and it is pleasurable to have attention, okay? And everybody has these on varying levels. Some people don't like to have a lot of attention, okay? And they'd rather be ignored, okay? This is going to vary per person, okay? But this is general rule. This is what's going on in the individual, but everybody's going to manifest differently, okay? Now, on an emotional level, we want to escape disapproval. And we want to gain approval. Alright, so that's on an emotional level. We want people to like us. We want people to think we're great and we're doing good and we got our stuff together, and we don't like it if someone's like, man, you're a mess. You know, I don't like you, okay? Because that hurts our feelings. That's painful. And it's pleasurable to have people like you and approve of what you're doing. And once again, varies per person individually, but these are the areas, okay? You may pop up differently on the grid, okay, on the chart, but these are the bases, okay? Now, the last one is we want to escape inferiority. Okay? And we would love to gain power. Actually, I'm going to write this a different way. If I can erase it. This is going to be the urge. That is a G, even though it doesn't look like a G at all, because my handwriting hasn't improved since the second grade, and it won't, because I don't care enough to do anything about it. Urge to power. Alright? That's pretty pleasurable, isn't it? When you've got power over other people, or even when you feel like you've got power over yourself, man, you know, that feels great, okay? And when you feel powerless or inferior, that is not very pleasurable. It is painful, okay? Now, all four of these dual basic urges make up this concept of non-disturbance, okay? You're fine. You're not feeling any physical pleasure, but your crush ain't texting you back. You saw that she read it, but she ain't said nothing. You being ignored, and you don't know if you're being approved of, and you would just love it if she would just text you back, because, man, if I could just respond, you know, yes or no, come on. You know, you want to have the power to be able to make people do what you want them to do, okay? This is this whole web of non-disturbance that drives your purpose, okay? Let's see what we got here. That's what fucks me, is the urge to power. Yeah, well, here's the beauty of that, though, okay? There is only one of these that you can change. Okay? Now, each of them is going to alter throughout your life. Okay? Things that you felt were painful at some point in your life may end up being pleasurable, and some things you were pleasured by might be painful. Okay? That's gonna change, just kind of as it does. All right? Being ignored and seeking attention, you're going to go through stages, okay, where you're going to want that. And every human needs a degree. You don't need to live in pain. You're not going to function well if you're in physical pain, okay? So you need a degree of pleasure. We were talking about earlier, like, it's almost impossible to focus on the inner state and self-work and self-knowing if your activity, your nutrition, and your environment are really off, okay? So you need a degree of pleasure, of comfort, of necessities, okay? And, you know, we are social creatures. We are social animals. We evolved this way. This is how we got here, okay? So we need, attention and approval to a degree to have an in-group and thrive in that regard, okay? And without that, I mean, you can see what happens to people who are highly isolated, especially unwillingly. Now, there are hermits and stuff like that who intentionally go out and they have other things that are going on in their minds, okay? But some people just degenerate when they don't have these things, okay? So the one that you can change is this urge to power, okay? And we're going to kind of get to that, but if we go back to the X, when we were talking about, and then we'll flip back there on Twitch. If we go back to the picture of man there with, your purpose on this, you see that you don't control your own body. You know, you can't just say, okay, heart, stop. I'm done with it. I'm over it. It's just end. Because I know we've all felt like that at some point in our lives because somebody broke our heart and we just didn't have the strength to go on. It just wanted to stop. And then fine. And the body went, nope, we're going to stick around. You'll get over it. Shut up. And it just kept trucking, okay? You don't have that power, okay? And if you really look at the emotions of anger, fear, guilt, insecurity, okay? How much does that help you? How much power do you have over someone else? You may be able to manipulate someone into doing what you want them to do, but they may do it, but begrudgingly, okay? It's not effective. You don't really have power over people and their thoughts and their emotions and things of that nature, okay? And it's destructive when you try to exert that. You know, you see that in toxic relationships where it's degrading to both parties because someone is trying to exert power over someone else. And it's not a pretty picture when people try to do that, okay? And, you know, you have like guilt, I just want to start eating better. I'm just going to beat myself up to it or whatever. I'm like, how much does that help? Like beating yourself up, trying to force yourself to do something. How well does that work? It really doesn't pan out. That's not an appropriate way to go about getting that, okay? So when you start to look at those things and how, the emotions are not helpful in that regard, in these day-to-day lives, this is the idea of the fight or flight ones, the anger, fear, guilt, insecurity. And so that power that you think that you're having by those is false. And if you look at the picture of the integrated being like we have up on Twitch, you realize your role is the awareness. Your role is to evaluate what is true and valuable, okay? And that's your role. You don't have power. You don't have the power that X does to make the body do whatever, and you don't have the power over the body to, you just don't. You don't have power over the external situations, okay? You are responding to what is going on, okay, by determining, based off all the data you have, the frame of reference you're in, what is true and what is valuable. That's your job, okay? That's the power that you have. Anything else, okay? So we can begin to evaluate whether this urge to power is actually appropriate. And if this is reevaluated and a new purpose is given here, then this all changes. This is all a dynamic transformation, and I won't, because I can't tell you what it will look like for you. It will manifest completely differently in almost every person. There will be some similarities, just like we've been saying. You know, all this, it's in the individual, but it's going to manifest in unique ways. Okay. So, are there any questions about non-disturbance as a purpose for living and the 4 dual basic urges? Well, Kai, I really appreciate that. The offer to donate a computer, I will definitely take it. It'd be wonderful.